Hey y'all, it's Zoe and welcome back to another video on my channel. Today I thought I would take you on a little get ready with me and chat because I don't think I've ever done any of these videos, like ever. Also, I do have a shirt on. It's just like a really low tank top. It's like a pajama set, so it like disappears in the camera, but don't worry, I have a shirt on. So let's get into this video. Alright, so I just kind of wanted to give you all like a little life update because I haven't really done that since I posted that one video called Quarter Life Crisis. So I guess just to start off, I'm still unemployed. It really sucks, and I did not think it would be this hard because honestly, like, you see so many things about how people need social workers, and you would think that people do need social workers, but apparently not enough to hire them. And I think a lot of it is my field experience just isn't enough, or I don't know, I don't have my full license. I don't know what it is. And I understand some places needing the full license because I do need supervision, and sometimes they just don't have the capacity to do that. And I also can understand wanting someone with more than just field experience, but how am I supposed to get more than just field experience if no one else is taking me for that entry-level job? But I am kind of pursuing something that might be hopeful, and I just kind of wanted to start off by kind of going backwards. So I've been doing this YouTube channel since I was in college, and I didn't really get to do it a lot when I was in high school. There was a time, the summer before my senior year, that I studied abroad in China, and I was like, what if I just did a YouTube channel? And I never ended up doing it, but I would like film on my last day. I filmed a bunch of videos of like where I would go, what I would do, things like that. So my YouTube journey, I guess, kind of started then. But because of that, people didn't really know me before college. And the reason why I'm telling you this is because when I was in high school and also a little bit in college, I was very into like working with kids, like doing summer camps. I would do tutoring, things like that. In fact, there was like a summer where I worked at a summer camp while also being a research assistant, and this was in college, and I filmed videos like why I'm not posting or something like that. Yeah, that was like a really rough summer. But anyways, the reason why I'm telling you this now is because if you didn't know, I have a bachelor's in psychology, and that's kind of what drew me to social work, because I was able to still kind of focus on like mental health, but social work is so broad that I was also able to kind of focus in on like my other interests of like social justice, things like that. Like, I've organized protests and marches and things like that. So don't worry, all of this has a point. So yeah, that brings us to Taiwan. So I did like a Fulbright grant in Taiwan, which, if you don't know what the Fulbright program is, basically it's an exchange program between the United States and a bunch of other countries. And it's for educators. So students, professors, faculty, teachers, they have a lot of different programs you can do. You can do a master's program, you can do research, you can teach, you can do all kinds of things, little practicums, things like that. So I did it where I was teaching English, and then we got back to Michigan, and that's where I am now, and I went to school for social work. So when I was younger, I always thought I wanted to be a teacher. I was like making fake rosters, fake worksheets, filling them out wrong on purpose just so I could grade them, downloading all of these apps to keep said fake rosters. I'd have a flash drive. Like, I just loved that, and I would write for the longest time that I wanted to be a teacher. And then I just kind of let go of that. I think part of it was just like, I still loved working with kids, but it was just really, the pay is not that good. So I kind of went away from getting any kind of education degree. Now, why I'm talking to you about this. So as you can see, like, I've had a lot of experiences in a classroom. Like, I did Fulbright, I tutored, like, I've done a lot of stuff like that. So if you watched my midlife or quarter, I'm not that old. If you watched my quarter life crisis video, I talked about how I took up a temporary job in a school. And when I was in the program, I knew about school social work, but I always told myself that I never really wanted to do that because I wasn't really interested in all the paperwork part of it, because they do a lot of behavior plans and like 504s and IEPs, which is like individualized education planning. And to be fair, I kind of said that based on what I thought I knew about them. I didn't really go into like, oh, this is word for word exactly what a school social worker does. I just kind of knew, like, I liked being in a school, I liked the idea of teaching, but I didn't really want to handle all those behavior plans. And when I was in my field placement, one of our group therapy groups was a skills-based group where I could come up with a fun activity, teach them a skill, and then have them practice it. And that was one reason why I really liked Fulbright, because I was able to teach them English through fun activities and games and things like that. So flash forward, that brings us to my role at the end of the school year this past year, where I was a TA, pretty much like a paraprofessional essentially, because I was helping him with his schoolwork. But a lot of what I was doing was kind of social worky. It was a lot of behavior management, just kind of talking to him, having those conversations, asking him like why he got in trouble, kind of helping him understand those things. And I was like, you know, I actually do kind of like this. It's not what I thought it would be. And yes, I wasn't making behavior plans, so there's a whole other side that I don't really have experience with. But the moments that I did have with a student, you know, like, I really did enjoy being able to connect with the student and get to know him and kind of help him understand what's going on and how to be social and like make friends and regulate his emotions and not, you know, be reactive. And so then I was like, I wonder what it would be like to work at a school. And so in Michigan, you have to have a specific school social work endorsement or like certificate. It's kind of like if you were to get certified in a specific sort of trauma modality, like EMDR, CBT, things like that. So because I did not think about this or want to do it when I was in school, I never took the classes that I needed. So in order to become a school social worker, you have to take certain classes, and then your field placement has to be with youth. And luckily my field placement was with adolescents, so I don't have to do a second field placement. If I were to do a second field placement, I probably wouldn't be making this video because that's just more unpaid labor. So I looked into how to take these classes post-grad, and essentially I am going back to school to take these classes. So they're considered continuing education credits. They're just post-grad classes, so they're still going to be graded, but it's not going to be like they're on my transcript or anything. It's really just I'm taking these classes to get this credential so that I can get the endorsement. And when I was emailing someone about how to do this post-grad, she told me that there's a waiver that schools can sign to let you work in their school as a school social worker while you're actively taking these classes. So that being said, I have applied to a couple of school positions, and we're just gonna see what happens with that. And if something happens with that, honestly, like, it would be a new challenge for me because I've never really had like a caseload. Like my field placement, I didn't really get a caseload. We kind of shared all of the patients, so that would be a new experience for me. But also I was looking into private practice and medical social work, and I would have had a caseload then anyways, so it'll be a new challenge for sure. And honestly, like, I'm kind of excited. And now I have seen jobs for school counselor or school-based therapist. That's a little different than school social worker. I could still do that job, but it's less dealing with 504s and IEPs and more of the kind of skills-based therapy, doing individual therapy, maybe some group therapy, things like that. So either one of those positions really interests me, and I think even if I do end up with like a school counselor or school-based therapist role, still taking these classes to be a school social worker is still a good thing because it still lets me get that credential. And even if I have it, I don't necessarily have to use it in a school. Like I could work in a school or not work in a school. I could come back to a school, you know, things like that. And also if I'm already there as like a school counselor or school-based therapist, and then I get my school social work, like that also opens a door at that school if they need a school social worker. So yeah, long story short, I'm going back to school to become a school social worker, and I'm not sure if that means this is going to be my job forever, or if this is even going to be my starting job, because again, I have to actually be hired somewhere. But it at least opens a door to a new area of social work that I didn't know existed when I started school. And then I slowly learned about it, wasn't kind of really interested in it, and now here I am. So yeah, that's my little life update slash get ready with me and chat. It doesn't take me a long time to get ready, so I have to put on some jewelry, but I do that after I get dressed. So yeah, I hope you all enjoyed that little update. I want to keep you guys updated on like my life, what I'm doing post-grad, things like that. And as soon as I get a job, I will definitely be making a video about what it is, what I do, and hopefully maybe sometime I can take you along with me or something like that, depending on what the job is. Even if it's just me talking, like even if I can't physically show you anything, I could at least kind of talk about what it is, maybe do some kind of Q&A. But anyways, that's my little update for you all. I hope you enjoyed it, and let me know if you have any questions or anything like that. Yeah, so hopefully this new pathway opens some doors for me, and I'm really excited to kind of see where this takes me. I think I'm going to put my hair up in a ponytail. But yeah, so unfortunately I did not think I would be unemployed this long. I'm glad that I have savings, and I do pride myself on the fact that I am really good about saving and budgeting, because I'm pretty much living off my savings right now. So I'm really hopeful that I get a job soon, especially because the school year is coming up, and I do feel like a lot of schools are going to be looking to hire their staff for the upcoming school year. So fingers crossed, and we'll see what happens. But as always, I'll make sure to update you. So thank you all so much for watching this video. I'll see you all in the next one. I'm actually really looking forward to it because it's the books that I read this month, and I'm looking forward to talking to you guys about that. I'm gonna go finish getting dressed and eat something because my stomach is starting to get hungry, and I'll see you all in the next video.